Have you ever felt that you're living a life that isn't truly yours? Almost just like you're wearing a mask just to fit in? What if I told you that the key to finding your most authentic self lies in mastering a single, powerful concept, the present moment? In this video, I'm going to share with you 5 life-changing lessons from the book, The Power of Now, that will help you break free from all of the noise and make you be able to reconnect with who you really are. Let's get started. Lesson number 1, the present moment is your true self. Let me ask you one question. Who do you think you are? What thoughts take up the majority of your mind? Is it your past self? Maybe awkward moments from high school? Embarrassing moments? Or maybe you peaked in high school and you try to cling on to that? Or do most of your thoughts come from the future about some potential event you're looking forward to? Oh, that next party's, or that's everything that's on your mind. Oh, this job interview. Most likely right now, I'm looking at you and I know you're either one or the other. A lot of these past experiences dictate who you are now. Maybe you got a shit grade in a test and now that just makes you think you're just like a dumb fuck. Or you just constantly look in the future. The next event, the next party, the next job, the next video. You're getting it all wrong. You're never present. You're always on one complete opposite end of the spectrum, past, future. And you're never in the middle. The present moment. Right now, this exact second, as focused as you are watching me speak, this is your true self. The now. And I know this video might be super spiritual, kind of different from my recent videos. But I've been getting the question a lot recently, especially from some of my close friends, about how to be more authentic, how to be your true self. Well, here is the bland answer. Stop aligning all of your thoughts to something that may have happened last week, or to something upcoming, which is in the future. What really helped me to find my true self is to realize I'ma just control what I can just control right now. I'm gonna put all my thoughts, my ideas, my actions to the now. Because right now, bro, it's all we have. And younger Adrian, he would say to himself, if I can just control what I can control right now, the future will be okay. I don't have to stress about how much money I'm going to make in the future. Am I ever going to attract a girlfriend? Oh, I feel like I'm falling behind. I know these are a lot of the thoughts you're probably getting now in your day-to-day life. You feel like you're falling behind. You feel like you're missing out. Are you doing enough? Relax. Take one deep, full, masculine breath. And just relax, because your true self is now. Past and future selves are just constructs of the mind. Achievements, awkward moments, maybe crazy good moments, that's in the past, bro. Stop being that guy who aligns his whole personality to something that happened in the past. Life goes on, bro. And if you want to be your most true self, realize that the only person stopping you is you. Not that one friend who was kind of taking the piss out of you, but it was almost like banter, but you took it seriously and you valued his opinion so much, so you let that define who you really were. Some action which may have happened 6 months ago. It doesn't mean shit, bro. The only thing that matters most is right now. And this is the first most vital step to put you a step closer to becoming who you really are and just achieving this level of higher confidence. Lesson number 2, detach from the ego. Do you even know that your ego is the one thing which you cling onto so tightly? Your ego thrives off of labels, achievements, accolades, accomplishments, validation. It's the reason why you're not doing that one thing which you really want to do. Your ego. You have this perceived image of yourself and you want to keep it because you don't want others to think of you differently, as stupid as this sounds. Realize that, again, this is easier said than done, and I know this is like crazy spiritual and you probably don't have this awareness yet, but watch this video as many times as you want to. Realize that if you're to detach from your ego and do something which may seem a little bit risky, externally, the people you're so worried about or upsetting, they're actually going to respect and admire you a whole lot more than if you were to just try fit in and cling on to your ego. Think back in high school. Everyone would try be the same as one another just because everyone was so insecure. Everyone wanted to be a people pleaser. You had to buy the same shoes as everyone else. You had to follow the pack. You had to be the sheep in the farm. I'm now officially 5 years out of high school, and from people I still connect with a little bit, and from people I know through like social media, a lot of them are still people pleasers and they're still trying to not do something different and just follow the pack, go to uni, get a job, wear the same clothes, go on these Europe trips because everyone else is doing them, and hey guys, look at me, I'm in Mykonos as well. I'm so special, I'm in Ibiza, I'm partying. But they don't realize that a million other people are doing the exact same thing as them. So they're not even as good as the holidays. I'm not saying Mykonos or Ibiza isn't fun, but realize that most people go on these holidays to continuously try to fit in and get these stories and show them off for validation, because they're not getting the validation from themselves. They're actually not their most authentic self because they haven't detached from their ego. Their ego wants this label because everyone else has this label. Their ego is so attached to themselves and it's not allowing them to relax, to surrender, to feel blissful and just actually be who they're really meant to be. Every single time you catch yourself clinging to your ego, maybe from some past achievement you accomplished and you want to just hold on to that. But every single time you catch yourself, I want you to say to yourself that this isn't me. That's your actionable step for this lesson. And I know this is really, really hard. You might need to start journaling because you probably right now lack a lot of this self-awareness with your ego. Let me say this again. Every single time you catch yourself thinking of committing an act because you think that will masturbate or hold on to your ego, remind yourself that this isn't you. What's another example of this? Maybe buying some sort of like materialistic item. Your ego really wants it because you feel like when you buy this item, a lot of people will be happy and you'll get this validate. This isn't you. This is actually only putting yourself a step backwards from becoming your most authentic self. Another story. Back in 2023, I did a dopamine detox. I deleted all social media. I eradicated and eliminated every single bad habit you can think of. Fapping, junk food, hanging out with negative friends, obviously scrolling. I deleted social media. And I did this for a good week to 2 weeks. And at first, my brain was going overdrive. Just because I stopped myself from getting this external validation, like scrolling on social media, posting photos, getting likes, posting stories. I took action with trying to detach myself from my ego. And it was so fucking hard. But once I passed a couple days, yeah, my life became so boring, but I started to find fulfillment in stuff that I actually wanted to do. And not fulfillment in this instant gratification stuff, like scrolling, seeing everyone else's life and trying to follow what they're doing. Think of all the people that went to your high school. Do you think any of them are watching this type of content? Do you think any of them are aware of their own ego? Or are they almost just following a script and trying to fit in with everyone? So now think of yourself. What if you're to go on a social media detox and stop scrolling for, even if it's just 1 week, and you stop caring about what everyone else is doing, and you just do what you know you're meant to do, like read this book? How much more will your life quality improve? Because you're so detached from everyone. You're just with your own thoughts. You're not running away from your thoughts. You're fucking battling them. You're throttling them, choking them, because you're saying to yourself, I'm not letting my ego dictate who I am. And I'm not letting what people think about me control me. I'm not letting the past dictate the now. I'm not letting the future dictate the now. All I have is the now. And I'm going to sit in my room with no instant gratification crap. And I'm going to sit down and challenge my own thoughts. Because my thoughts control my emotions. My emotions control my behaviors. If I can get a grasp of this, I know the behaviors I'm going to do 6 months from now are probably going to be like slightly better behaviors or actions in which I'm doing now. And that will ultimately align with me becoming my true self. Detach from your ego and see how much your life will change for the better. Lesson number 3, accept what is. Have you ever just accepted that it is what it is? Or do you constantly try hold on and suffer with this like resistance? Let's say you just got fired from your job. That's the outcome. You're fired. Move on. But does part of you never accept that? You try hold on to something like a past event, getting fired from your job, getting a shit grade, failing your driving test. This resistance you're feeling, this suffering, is completely unnecessary. And again, I know this is easier said than done, but I'm trying to help you here. I'm on your side, and I want you to live life without all this resistance and suffering, these bad negative thoughts, which are just holding you back. But let me tell you that this resistance is no resistance. And that if you were to just accept everything for what it is, your life quality will improve by at least 200%.
Turn off the aircon.
Shh. Accept what is. You got fired from that job? Okay, cool. Let's move on. I failed a PR in the gym? That's okay, I'll hit it next week. When you can start to accept life for what it actually is, you actually become more of who you're meant to be. I know for me, back in high school, in year 8, basketball tryouts, I thought I put on a good performance. I thought I tried my absolute best. But I didn't make the team I wanted to. I made the B team instead of the A team. I didn't accept this result for what it was. I became emotional. I became a bitch. I let this result deteriorate my self-image and made me think that, maybe I'm not that good at basketball and I thought, maybe I'm actually not that good at basketball as I thought I was. And I would let this resistance be in my brain for like all of high school just because I didn't make the team I wanted to make. I couldn't accept that maybe I actually wasn't as good as I thought I was. Maybe I didn't train as hard as I should have. I didn't accept it. I was negative. And just one little aspect of my life made me so much more negative in every other area of my life. My family, relationships, friends, my work. Because I was holding on to this resistance. Because I was bad at basketball. Couldn't accept it. I would let this negative event impact every other area of my life. As upsetting as it was, did this moment back in year 8 really matter that much as I thought it did back then? Fuck no! Am I in the NBA? No. Do I still play basketball? No, not really. Maybe socially. Didn't mean shit. So now think, back then in year 8, if I was to accept what is, accept results for what they are, how much more sooner or how much more progress could I have made instead of holding on to something which, quite frankly, doesn't really mean much? Because all that matters in life is the present moment and not some previous result, not some future event. It's the now. A quick actionable step and a quick thought process I want you to have, or like a mantra, is I want you to start saying to yourself, with whatever event happens, whether it be bad or good, maybe a failed date, maybe a failed talking stage, maybe you get ghosted. I want you to start saying to yourself, this moment is as it should be. And that by me trying to hold on to thinking it could have been better is a false perception of my own mind. I know this happened for a reason, and this is going to help me for the future. I know this failed talking stage was meant to happen. If you can start living life with this mindset, you're going to notice your life trajectory start to just creep up like that. Instead of letting resistance hold you back and make you incapable of actually making progress, okay? Stop wasting energy on something that was meant to actually happen. Lesson number 4, find stillness to discover your essence. What do you think you're searching for? Why do you try to stay constantly stimulated, and by thinking that will make you more happier than doing nothing? Your dopamine levels right now are absolutely fried. You've been distracting yourself from your own thoughts for the last 6 years because you're too scared to face reality for what it is. Think about it. When you were a little kid, you could play with your toys and sit in an empty room and probably still be happy. Whereas now, if I was to tell you to sit in your room with no stimulants, no distractions, you probably couldn't last for more than 5 minutes just because your brain has been craving and you've been satisfying this need of external validation so strongly, which is only making you more insecure in yourself. All the stillness you're searching for, this like calm masculine rock, all comes from within, and not that social media photo dump, and not that girl messaging you back, and not you making whatever sporting team you want to make. Everything you think you need to find by committing or achieving some sort of result isn't anywhere but right here. So just relax. Please, relax. And I know this is a lot to take in. It's like the third time I've said this. But the masculine essence is stillness. And by you constantly searching for validation, makes you a whole lot more crazy and not still. Makes you a whole lot more unattractive to that feminine girl because she can see how insecure you are. Just relax and you will find your true essence a whole lot sooner than if you were to constantly be on the search of finding that girl, that car, whatever. Everything comes from within. I remember back in high school, I was probably my most feminine self and I didn't even know what stillness meant. Because I had this lack of self-worth. I wasn't my most authentic self. I would constantly post Instagram photos, hoping this girl would like it this time. And if she didn't like it, that would dictate my mood for the next month. External. It's not in my control. I can't control whether she likes this post or not. So why do I care? What if I was to just care? What if I was to just care more about the stuff which I can control? Like my thoughts, my emotions, my behaviors. That'd make me a whole lot more secure in myself. That'd improve my life quality. That'd make me a whole lot more likely to feel good and go to the gym and build the body, in which in return which will probably help me attract the girl I want to attract. Stop worrying about stuff which is not in your control. And it's just external stimulation, a distraction. You didn't get invited to that party? Cool, whatever, their loss. Maybe it's a blessing. You shouldn't care, bro. You know how many parties I didn't get invited to? Did I care in the moment? Yeah, I cared a lot. Did it ruin my self-image? Yeah, it kind of did. But I wish I didn't let it control my self-image. But I wish I didn't let it control my self-image because it shouldn't. It's not in my control if someone invites me to this event or not. And if I sook for a +1, which I did a lot in high school, I would always sook like, please +1 me. I need to go. Makes me come across as a whole lot insecure. If you didn't get invited, that's what was meant to happen. And I know it's a tough pill to swallow, but let it be. And keep searching for that stillness from within. Lesson number 5, embrace the observer perspective. Literally this past year, when I would go on like first dates and stuff and I was feeling like anxious, nervous, scared, I would correlate these emotions with something that's bad. So I'd almost hide to express them. Because I would think like, oh no, they're bad. I can't let her know that I'm anxious. She'd hate me a whole lot more. She'd think I'm a bitch. Feminine. This whole feminine, I'm not gonna be that masculine, hyper masculine Andrew Tate guy because I'm showing off a little bit of anxious. And Andrew Tate's never anxious. He's always perfect. That's what I would think. What if I was to tell you that if you can observe and communicate what emotions you're actually feeling, that is your true self. And if you can communicate these with the girl you're trying to communicate them with or seeing, she's only going to become this much more attracted to you than what she currently is, or if you were to hide or neglect these emotions. I let her know that I'm feeling a bit anxious. What was her reply? Brother, she wanted to reassure me so my anxiety can go lower. She wanted to help fix the problem, or because I observed the emotions, the thoughts I was feeling. That was my true self in that moment. Sure, am I less anxious now when I see her because I've become more comfortable? Yeah, 100%. But in that moment, in that present moment, I communicated how I was feeling. And no, it didn't make the situation worse. No, she didn't ghost me. If anything, she just became a whole lot more attracted to me, and I became a whole lot more attracted to her. Because I was being my true self. Not because I was being someone who I wasn't. No, I'm not nervous. I'm tough as fuck. I'm not nervous. Nervous is feminine. Ask yourself whenever you're on a future date or a big scary upcoming event, that this one time I'm going to try express my emotions for what they actually are. And let's just see if I get a better result. Because most likely you're watching this video, you've probably had a lot of failed talking stages, you're probably struggling with girls, and I can guarantee you the one reason why is because right now you're not your most true, authentic self. You're lacking authenticity. Authenticity is the most powerful emotion. Right now, you watch my videos because you know I'm being like truly authentic. All of my friends watch my videos, even the girl I'm seeing, she watches my videos and she knows this is who I am. My friends watch my videos and be like, oh, that's the exact conversation we had at the cafe the other day. I'm like, yeah, it was. I'm just being me, speaking to a camera. Authenticity gives you goosebumps, bro. People used to think love was the most powerful emotion. It's not. It's being your most authentic self. And that just comes from doing the work, from doing what you know you have to do day in, day out, and not saying otherwise. Realizing that if I can control the internal, externally, people are going to start to be more attracted to me than if I wasn't to be a man of my word. If I was to just lie myself and not go to the gym that one day. Everything you're searching for comes from within. This book I read 2 years ago, I didn't even remember a thing because I was so unaware of myself and who I actually thought I was. I had no self-awareness 2 years ago. I had no values. I didn't know what my fucking values were. But I reread this book this past month and holy fucking shit. Holy shit. I've just accepted what is. And if I'm feeling a little bit anxious, that's okay, as long as I can observe these feelings and be mindful of what I'm feeling. The present moment is your true self. The more you can realize this, the more you can surrender to future outcomes or future events or past scenarios and just accept it for what it actually is. I'm telling you, bro, your life will improve for the better. And you will attract who you're meant to attract just because you deep down are who you are truly meant to be. The power of now. I hope this video motivated and inspired you. I'm currently doing one-on-one coaching mentorship. It'll be the first link in the description. Also, make sure to click the subscribe button and also that little bell icon, so you're kind of like reminded when I do post these videos, and you can watch them as soon as humanly possible. I'll see you in the next video. Mwah!